It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. In this episode, we have the one and only Dr. Freida. She's in the building, and she'll be talking about confidence is your currency. We'll talk about that in a minute. What's going on, Dr. Freida? How are you today?
Well, good evening, Che. I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the show. We certainly appreciate it. And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we don't have a show. So we appreciate you being here, and you definitely have a lot of choices. Thank you. Before we get started about how famous you are and getting into your background and your bio and all that cool stuff that's out there, we're talking about confidence is your currency. I guess I have a question. Why are folks today struggling to have the confidence they need to step up to their next level when they have AI? They can go type in AI. What do I need to do? AI tells them what to do. They can go watch a YouTube video or Instagram video and get motivated and inspired, yet they're feeling stuck and they don't have the confidence to move forward. What's holding them back from your view of the world?
Well, Che, confidence, you can know the words to say. You can go to AI and it can give you a plethora of things that you can say that'll sound good, but is the confidence comes from within. And so if you're not confident on the inside, it will show on the outside. And so yeah, you can have words to say, but if you don't have that confidence of who you are, then it's going to be hard for you to convey confidence to those that you're speaking to, or those that you're in front of.
So I guess the question I have then is many folks believe, but yet they don't have the confidence. How can one, and we'll just jump right into it for those folks out there, this is a good opportunity. If you're an entrepreneur right now, you might want to lean in. How can folks grow their confidence? Let's say first as an entrepreneur, what one, two, or three things you might recommend to all the entrepreneurs who are watching right now? And don't worry, all you leaders, maybe it's the same. We're going to ask about leaders in just a moment. But for my entrepreneurs out there, how do they build and grow their confidence?
That's a wonderful question. Let me say this. So when you're talking about business, you can start a business. It's easy to start a business, and what I'm saying is, you can say, "Oh, I have a business doing this, and I have a business doing that." But when you get into the nitty and the gritty of it, and now you've got to produce some things, you've got to make sure that things are happening the way you say they're going to happen. You've got to have the confidence that you need to really be able to do it. Now, when I speak of confidence, see, a lot of times people think confidence is just a look. But I'm telling you, you've got to be confident on the inside. You've got to know that what you're saying is what it is. You've got to know that you've tried it, you've tested it. You've got to know that that thing is going to work. When I tell you, Che, I know what I'm talking about. You said, we're going to talk about leaders, well, businesses, leaders. So let me tell you, I have been a pastor for 23 years. That's leadership. I have been in ministry for 36 years. And then, of course, I have the winning approach. So I've had to step out on confidence, but I've had to step out on faith. That's what I really wanted to get to. You've got to have faith. You got to have faith in what you're doing. You got to have faith to believe that what you're doing is going to work. And there's this Bible scripture that says faith without works is dead. So you got to have the faith, you got to have the confidence, but you got to put the action to it as well.
I love you talk about putting the action to it because you talk a lot about moving from survival mode to a winning mindset.
Yes.
First, how does one know if they're in survival mode? Because sometimes folks are going around and they say, well, you got to fake it till you make it. And I don't know if that's true or not. And I'm not here to debate that right now. But my question to you is, how does one know if they're in survival mode and they need to move towards a winning mindset?
Survival mode is I'm going to do this because I need to do it. A confidence mode is I'm doing this because I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I know that this is going to work. It's not just going to work for me, but it's also going to help others. A winning mindset, it really starts on the inside. It's not an outside job. It is an inside job. You have to know. And when we talk about survival, I am, definitely have been in survival mode for years. And that's how I know the difference between operating in survival mode and really operating in faith, moving in the mindset of a winner. I've had so many things that have happened to me in my life where I really could have quit, should have thrown in the towel, but there was something on the inside of me, and that was a confidence in knowing that there was more to me than what life was dealing out to me. And so I'm thankful to know that when I decided I'm a winner and I'm going to win, then it's basically I stepped up to the plate and I put my mind to it. And I said, this is more about others than about me. A lot of times we go through things and we don't understand that it may be happening to us, but it's really to help others. And so that's how the winning approach came about. That is exactly how the winning approach came about, the business, the winning approach. And so I've been able to help so many to see the value of them. The value. A lot of times we're not confident because we don't know our value, Che. And if you don't know your value, then that's where you fall into the insecurities. That's where you feel, you're in that imposter syndrome. But when you know your value and you begin to realize and understand what you possess on the inside of you, then you're able to step forth with confidence. I say confidence is your currency because confidence will get you indoors that some other things might not get you into, but that confidence will open up some doors for you.
Well said. You're so transparent, so well said. And I couldn't wait for this particular interview. I mean, some folks I like you and I talked about had a chance to meet and had a chance to meet you before. And one of the things that I like about the whole conversation that you frame it around is that clarity is this important part of the confidence. And I guess the question that I had, and I'm probably the only one to have this question out there. The question I have is, how does someone, or what's your process, I should say, for someone to find clarity when there's a lot of choices, they're feeling overwhelmed, they're trying to make the best choice. How does one determine when there's clarity that leads towards the confidence? So the question is, I guess, how does someone determine clarity with so many things going on?
So, how you determine clarity now? As I said, Che, I am a pastor, so of course I'm speaking faith. I'm speaking, the word of God. But so
Yes.
I'm speaking prayer. That's me. But for someone that is a believer, how you get that confidence is prayer, fasting, and seeking God and seeking the face of God, seeking for clear understanding. When you go to step out and do something, when it's working and you have that reassurance on the inside of you. But when you step out on something and you're not sure of it, then that means it might be time to pull back and get some clarity. And so my uh, conclusion for clarity or how to get clarity is to seek the word of God, seek the face of God, and prayer.
I love it, by
Hmm.
the way. And this is a good time to slow down. You gave us a sneak preview because the clarity is important, and I'm a believer, and a number of folks who watch are believers. And if you're not, you'll still be able to gain from what we're talking about today. So straightforward. Take a moment now. Tell me a little about your backstory. I think this is important. Someone's listening right now, and they may be in the kitchen cooking dinner, and like, well, Shay, I like what I'm hearing. I don't know her. I didn't go read her bio yet. Others, I know you already Googled her. You already checked her out before you got here. I get that. But for you to listen to the podcast, thank you so much. For you who don't know who she is, take a moment, if you would, slow down. You know the story. Who are you? And then what was that defining moment that led you on the track you're on now?
Okay. Well, Che, I've gone through a lot, and of course, many people have, but I am a domestic violence survivor. Um, my story, being abused, losing a twin, um, in the toilet. I mean, seriously. So I had everything that was coming against me, and not understanding that some of my behaviors, and when I say my behaviors, of things that I accepted, things that I allowed to happen to me, was because I didn't understand my value. And that's why I brought that up. And so all of that stemmed from being adopted. Didn't know who my parents were, didn't know a lot of things. And so the backstory and the beautiful part about what God did for me that He will do for others is, when I began to go through certain things, I kept saying, why does this keep happening to me? Well, it was based off of how I was raised and wanting to be accepted, because being adopted, I felt rejected. Rejection will cause you to accept things, to allow things to happen to you, or to be done to you, because you want to be accepted. And so when I came to the realization that even if the world rejected me, God loved me. And that made me somebody. So I flipped the script, and I took the rejection and I turned it into something beautiful. I turned it into something that would help others. See, I was abused as a child. So when I got older and definitely more mature, and even in ministry, I started a school for children because I didn't want children to be abused and going through and having rough time in school. So I started a Christian academy, kindergarten through 12th grade. I started a child development center. So I started flipping the script. Everything that went wrong in my life, I set out to make it better for those that were coming up behind me, the children, and helping parents to understand, the children and how to deal with them, and the single moms, and so that is, a quick version, a snippet of my backstory, but it is from being abused as a child, being rejected, physically abused, mentally abused, verbally abused, and then growing up and marrying into that, because basically that's what I knew. And so that's what I thought love was, but I found out that it wasn't. And so that's really the backstory of my life. So now I'm an author. I've authored 7 books, and
Wow,
got a book
congratulations. You
coming
can't
out.
just say seven
Actually,
books
thank
and not
you.
slow down. I mean,
I actually have my memoir coming out. Is actually coming out January the 24th. And so I'm super excited about that. It is Beauty from Brokenness, and it tells the whole story. It tells everything from the beginning of my life up until this very, time of my life. And so that's who I am. And my purpose and my goal is to be able to, I do coach men as well, but the winning approach in itself was set up and designed for women that had been in abusive relationships, that had dealt with loss of, a job or a loved one, to help them to see the winner in them, and to also help them to understand that there are times when you got to take the cape off and put the crown on.
take the cape off. I love it, by the way. Woo, what a backstory. Because I'm glad you mentioned it, because you work and walk with women who have had a lot in the background, a lot of things that have happened that have held them back. And for the person listening right now that says, "Hey, Shay, I like what I'm hearing. Give me the Cliff Note version." If she said, "Hey, here's step one, because I've got some things that have been holding me back, I need to address, I need to read her books." But if she had to say, "Hey, here's step one, step two, and step three of things that you could do right now to help," I'm going to use the word release because I'm not a counselor or anything, but kind of release what's going on back there. And it's a sticky question because it's a kind of unfair question. It's a loaded question. But what are three things that you would suggest that someone could do right now? And if you're watching or you know someone that's going through something or got some things in the background that's held them back, you might want to lean in right now and share this episode with them, because I'm going to ask Dr. Freida to maybe frame it and then give you three things that you could do. And she's going to talk about how to connect with her as well. But it can change, and you can become the person that you were called to be and that God wants you to be. But over to you, Dr. Freida. What would you say to that person right now?
Okay, so first of all, I want to say, a lot of times, women and men, but women don't fail because of lack of talent most of the time. It's because of fear and doubt and low confidence. That's what keeps them stuck. Most of the time, that is really what keeps them stuck. And so that's why I say confidence is your currency. So I created the winning approach because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to look strong but be unsure of your life and what's going on in your life. So, the winning approach gives you clarity, confidence, and it gives you a step-by-step plan to move from stuck to really unstoppable. And so, whether that's in your business, in your ministry, or in personal growth. And so, really, every coach need a coach, every pastor need a pastor, you know what I'm saying? And so it's really the first step I would tell them is to find someone that you can connect with as as a coach, as a mentor, you know what I'm saying, as someone that you can go to that can help you to become unstuck, to get clarity. A lot of times, like I said, it's a matter of understanding where you're really headed. So the first thing is to connect with someone. The second thing is to be honest about who you are, what you've gone through, so that they can really, help you. I say that because I've dealt with a lot of, men and women, whether it's coaching or counseling them. And one thing that I found out, Che, and I learned this in my life, is that when we are not open and honest, we can't get the proper help that we need. So, first thing is connecting. The second thing is being honest. And then the third thing is be teachable.
Be teachable. I love that be teachable part. That part right there, spot on. The whole thing was spot on, by the way. You seem to really enjoy what you're doing. I mean, 7 books, helping people live the life they truly deserve. What do you enjoy most about what you're doing these days? Where does this joy come from?
The joy comes from seeing people win. And I know that sounds like, that's simple. Yeah, that's easy to say. No, really, I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Because I felt like my life was a total failure. Like, I cannot believe this is my life. The one thing I didn't say in the beginning, Che, is that when I was born, I had a hole in my heart, and at 8 years old, my parents that had adopted me was told that if I didn't have surgery, that I was going to die. And so I had the surgery, and during the surgery, while on the table, I woke up. So I felt them cutting me. Not only did I feel that, but then my heart stopped. And the doctor said that they had told my parents that if I survived, I would probably be a vegetable because my heart had stopped beating for so long. And, of course, now the brain's not. But look what the Lord did. I'm not a vegetable. And so, but then I'm in this family that is abusing me. And so I'm like, is this really the life that I've been given? And now I'm married and I'm getting beat. And so when I began to realize that my life has value and that I can win, then I said, you know what? I don't want to just win. I want to help others win. And so that's why I get so much joy out of what I do.
Mm. And I like to ask the question when we get a chance. I love your transparency. I love how authentic you are. Is what's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given? And I'll frame it for the audience so they're kind of clear. You've read more books than you've written, obviously. You've watched more
Yes.
videos than you can probably recall these days. You've had probably more mentors along this journey of life. And 10,000 hours, I mean, you can do that on the weekend scrolling these days. So I guess my question is, of all the advice you've been given, if you had to say, Shay, this is one of the best piece of advice I've ever been given personally to myself that I want to share with the audience, what is it and why?
Well, I was told by a wise woman who knew, of course, knew my story, a lot of my, story. And she said this to me. She said, when God starts blessing you, because He is, don't be ashamed of what He does for you. Because the people weren't there those nights when you cried, those nights when you felt nobody loved you, and those nights when you felt like you weren't going to make it. So when God begins to do what He's going to do in your life, you bless others and you help others, but don't you be ashamed. That advice has really stuck with me.
I love it. I love it, by the way. And what does success look like for you these days? What does it feel like for you?
Success for me right now, it feels really good. When I say that, it feels good because, like I said, I just finished my book. And
Congratulations.
I believe it's not about just finishing the book. It's about believing what this book is going to be able to do for so many others. So, success for me looks like seeing all these women winning. That's what success looks like for me. It looks like seeing others breaking out of their shell, coming forth and birthing businesses and ministry, and that's what success looks like for me. It's helping others.
I love it. Helping others become the best version of themselves.
Yes.
That's super amazing. What do you do for fun? We're not out saving the world, helping people have more confidence. What does fun look like for you?
Fun for me is my grandson. I have five granddaughters and one
Wow.
grandson. And but the grandson, it lives where I live in the same state that I live in. And so that is amazing for me. I just absolutely love him. Spending time with my grandson, hanging out with the ladies. I enjoy that. I love movies. And so that's what fun looks like to me. I know I'm might be serious on here, but I love to laugh. I often say that if I wasn't a pastor, I would have been a comedian. So I like to joke around. Now my congregation say, no, stick to your day job, stay a pastor, stay a pastor. But I think I'm pretty funny.
I do too. I get that. I get that. As we come down the home stretch, the number of folks might be wondering, hey, how can I connect with Dr. Freida? How can I stay in this conversation over and beyond the time we have now? So two-part question. Number one, I'm not sure if your firm's taking on any clients. So if they are, what type of clients are you looking for? And number two, where can people connect? Where should they go? How should they stay in a conversation with you over and beyond this time that you and I have?
Wonderful, Che. Thank you for asking me that. Let me tell you, so they can connect with me. They can go to thewinningapproach.com, thewinningapproach.com, and they can find out all about me, all the things that I offer. They can become a part of my free Facebook group, and that is Her Winning Approach to a Blessed Life. They can find me on Facebook at Freida Henderson. They can also find me on Instagram at Coach Freida Henderson, and I would love to connect with them. And so right now, I am about to start a new cohort of women for Her Winning Approach to a Blessed Life, which is my 3 month coaching program. So they have time to reach out to me through the winningapproach.com.
Well, let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. I know you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So you're giving us the most precious resource you have with your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Che.
Okay, I'm gonna hit this button back. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Hold on, I'll fix this. We'll edit that out at the end. That's not a problem. Hit the wrong button. There we go. And for those folks that are watching, thank you so much for tuning in for the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. Without you, we don't have a show. So I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, no matter what's going on in your life right now, whether you're doing really, really well, you're going to that next level of success, or you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe is that today is a fresh start. And because of that reason, you can do whatever you were called to do. With that being said, thank you so much. Make it a great day, everyone. And we'll make some good things how we connect again next time. Peace, everybody. We out of here.